Hello students, you're watching iTTV. I'm your tutor Bhavani and today we shall begin the first chapter in Form 1. What is it? Do you know what is science? So today we begin our lesson, which is what is science? In today's lesson, we shall begin the lesson by seeing a few graphics. Let's see them. Thunderstorm, earthquakes, and lastly, volcano eruption. What do you think do thunderstorms, earthquake and volcanic eruption actually mean? They are actually natural phenomena which take place in Earth. Now, why do we start today's lesson talking about these natural phenomena? Well, these natural phenomena can actually affect human life and all living things. So, what is the role of science in this natural phenomena? Let's have a look at the next graphic to know further why do we learn about earthquake, volcanic eruption and thunderstorm. This is actually the definition of science. What is science actually? Science is a systemic study of nature and how it affects us and our environment. So, this is the reason why we studied natural phenomena. Scientific knowledge is the knowledge accumulated by systemic study of natural phenomena. So, what do you get out of science? You get scientific knowledge. Now, why do you have to know natural phenomena? So that you can study the cause of it, and scientists actually try to prevent this natural phenomena from taking place. What do you lose out of this natural phenomena? You have got volcanic eruption, thunderstorm and earthquake. We lose lives. So that is the reason why scientists actually study the causes of this phenomena to realize what actually happens and how do they get the chance to prevent it. Scientific knowledge is obtained through careful observation, studies and investigation by scientists. So this is what scientific knowledge and science actually stand for. So what are the different kind of branches that we have in science? Life science is actually study of living systems and the way they interact. So what do I mean by living system here? It's us humans, animal and plants. So what do you actually study in life science? Firstly, we have biology. What is biology? Let's have a look at the graphic. Biology is actually study of living things. So they actually study how humans undergo life processes and how plants actually undergo photosynthesis. How do animals actually reproduce and so on. This is actually the study of biology. Now what else is under life science? Another example is entomology. What is entomology? You have got different types of insect in this world. We have got caterpillars, butterflies, millipedes, centipedes, so many different kinds of insect. The study of these kind of insect is called entomology. The next branch of science is actually earth science. So remember, firstly we spoke about life science. In life science we have biology and entomology. Now in earth science, what do we actually have in earth science? We have got different types of branches. Let's have a look at the definition of earth science. Study of Earth system and the system of space. So what does it actually study? It studies all about Earth and it includes space. So firstly, let's look at the first branch in Earth science. We have got geology. What is geology? It's the study of rocks, soils and minerals. These are examples of rocks. Now different rocks have got different structure and different color. The study of this rock and their structure is actually geology. In geology, we also have the study of soil. Now, these are examples of soils. Soils come in different color, shape and structure, also like the rocks. So, the study of soil, minerals and rocks are called geology. We go over to the next branch in earth science. What is it? It's meteorology. The word meteor here actually means something to do with weather and climate. Firstly, let's have a look at the definition of meteorology. Study of weather and climate. So, meteorology is actually studying climate and weather. So, when your dad is actually sitting at home watching the news, at the end of the news, you have got weather forecast. How do they actually decide when it is going to be a rainy day, sunny day or grey clouds on top of your head? Simple, by just using the techniques in meteorology, they study and forecast the weather and climate. Let's have a look at the next branch in earth science. Next, we study astronomy. What is astronomy actually? Study of planets, stars and other parts of the universe. So this is something that you will learn further in Form 1, Form 2 and Form 3 about stars and galaxy. But before you go further, let me let you into a few hints about astronomy. Did you know that the sun is actually a very large star and a very hot one too? Did you know that the universe have got different types of galaxy in them? And our planets and all the other planets are actually in the Milky Way galaxy. So these are the three branches in earth science. We have got meteorology, geology and lastly astronomy. Let's go over to the next branch in science branches. Next we have got physical science. Now the physical science means study of matter and energy. So what are the branches that you have in physical science? What does the word physical actually mean? Physical means something that you can see. Okay, so what are the branches in physical science? Firstly, we have physics. Physics is actually study of energy and ability to change matter. So physics is actually studying energy and how matters actually change. For example, how solids change into gas and how gas change back into solids and how gas can actually change into liquid. So this is the study of physics. Let's move over to the next branch, which is in physical science. Next we have got chemistry. Chemistry is actually study of matter and their interaction. So, talking about chemistry, a chemist is someone who majors in chemistry. Chemistry involves matters and different types of liquids and so many colorful things. You mix one into another and carry out different types of experiments. So these here are actually test tubes showing you different kind of chemicals in them. And these chemicals actually relate well into chemistry. So these are the branches. Let's recall the branches once again that we have in science. Firstly, what branch do we have? We have got life science. Now in life science, what do they branch into? Firstly, biology and secondly, entomology. Next, out of life science, we have got earth science. Earth science study everything in the earth. We begin with geology, then we have meteorology and lastly we have astronomy. Lastly, just not long ago, we studied about physical science. What is physical science? Physical science is something that you study about physics and chemistry. These are the main branches that we have in science. The first branch is life science. Let's see, who can you become if you major life science? The careers are doctor, nurse, dietitian, botanist and zookeeper. That was about life science. What about earth science? What kind of careers can they actually offer you? Now remember the branches. Earth science can actually offer you careers in geologist, meteorologist, volcanologist, mineralogist and environmental scientist. Now let's remember the branches of earth science once again. We have got meteorology, astronomy and geology. So they are actually specialists who cover all these branches. So let's take volcanologist for an example. It's someone who is an expert of volcano eruption and all the activities that take part in volcano. Let's move over to the next branch of science. Lastly, we have got physical science. In physical science, we have got chemist, physicist, engineer, technicians like X-ray and ultrasound. Now, technicians are actually people who are good in controlling the X-ray and ultrasounds. They are actually imaginary methods where you can see the inner part of your body. So what does a chemist do? A chemist majors in chemistry. Physicist is someone who actually majors in physics. So engineer, I'm sure you have an idea what they actually do. These are the branches and the careers that science can actually offer you. Now let's move over to the Do You Know segment of the day to see who this special person that I have prepared for you actually is. Who was Albert Einstein? Now, I do really hope that most of you at home have an idea of who this scientist actually was. Who was Albert Einstein? Albert Einstein was a genius scientist and humanist and was responsible for the development of theory of relativity and Brownian motion. So, Albert Einstein was actually a humanist and a very famous and genius scientist. Let's learn more about Albert Einstein. As a child, Einstein was, however, considered to be a slow learner. Albert Einstein was born on 1879 in Germany. So when you remember Albert Einstein, remember that he was actually born in Germany. When Albert Einstein was a child, his mother actually thought he was deformed because he had rather large head. When Einstein was 5 years old, his father gave him a pocket compass. It was this compass that sparked Einstein's interest in science. The fact that the compass pointed in the same direction no matter how it was turned made him curious about understanding the force behind it. So remember students that curiosity is actually the key for science. You would learn so much if you were curious. After Albert Einstein's death in 1955, his brain was removed without approval from his family and an autopsy was conducted. So just imagine how smart Albert Einstein would have been that people were interested to know what was so special about his brain. Now this was about Albert Einstein. Remember that he is a very famous scientist. Now why do you think that science is so important? Science is important because it helps us to understand ourselves and our surrounding environment. So science actually answers why humans need oxygen to breathe, why plants actually use carbon dioxide for photosynthesis, how does the weather around the world change from snow to autumn to spring and so on. Let's see the next important of science. It solves science mysteries. Next, new discoveries, invention and knowledge. So what do they actually have? New discoveries. Well, they discover so many things like how did they invent the computers? How come it is the age of the computer now and so much of internet is being used? These are all the new discoveries. Improve standard of living and quality of environment. And lastly, create job opportunities. Now earlier you saw the careers that are available if you can major science. So what is technology actually, students? Technology is actually the practical use of science to help humans in their daily life. So what has science done for many different areas in the human life? Let's have a look at the first one. Agriculture. The examples of how science can help in agriculture are good quality strains, pesticides, engines and machines for harvesting and planting. So this is how agriculture is actually developed so widely thanks to science. We have got pesticides to control all the pests that eats up the plants. We have got engines and machines which can help to harvest faster. Let me ask you a question, student. What do you think they used before they had these engines and machines? Obviously, cows and buffaloes. Now let's go further to see the next part or area where science has actually helped to improve. Next is information technology. The examples are fast communication. Now how do we get fast communication? By having phones, obviously. Next is satellite usage, followed by internet, PDA. Now tell me, did you ever know what did PDA, SMS and MMS stand for? PDA means Personal Digital Assistance. SMS means Short Message Service and MMS is Multimedia Messaging Service. So this is what or how information technology has actually improved so much thanks to science. What is the next specific area that we are going to see? Industry, obviously. Now, what has science actually done for industry? How much has our industry in the country improved thanks to science? Produce nutritious food, produce synthetic material, and lastly produce machine and steels. Now this is how industries actually improve thanks to science. We have spoken about agriculture, industry and IT, which is information technology. What about the next specific area? Let's have a look at transportation. Transportation examples are, nowadays we have got jets, aeroplanes, electrical trains. Now this is how they get you fast and quickly to the destination that you want to go to. Subway and expressway provides comfortable infrastructures. This is how much transportation has improved thanks to science. Now, these are a few specific areas. Now let me show you this and you can guess how technology or science has actually helped in this area. What are these actually, students? These are different types of medicines. How has science actually helped in the area of medicines? The examples are new medicines to cure illness, modern medical equipment, new techniques like organ transplant. So, new or modern medical equipment, what do they mean by that? The X-ray machines, the CT scan machines, the MRI machines and so on. Now if an organ, let's take the kidney or the heart for an example, is not functioning well or they undergo failure, what do doctors or surgeons or specialists actually do? They replace you a new one. So that is actually known as organ transplant. So these are the specific areas and what science has done to help them to improve in these areas. So I do hope you can remember them quite well. Let's move over to the exam lab of the day to see a few different questions. Question 1. Which of the following is not a career under life science? So what does life science actually branch into? Biology and entomology. Now they do have different types of branches more in life science, but this is the main ones that you have to know. Let's have a look at the option of answers. A. Doctor, B. Nurse, C. Botanist and D. Chemist. Now, doctor and a nurse is someone who treats other people. Botanist is someone who actually knows much about plants. What about a chemist? What do you think is the correct answer? Let's see. The answer is D. Chemist. Now, chemists actually don't fall under life science. They fall under physical science. Remember, physicists and chemists? Let's see question 2. Which of the following is not a branch of earth science? A. Astronomy, B. Meteorology, C. Geology and D. Biology. Now, what do you think is the correct answer? What is earth science actually? It studies something to do with earth and everything on earth and space. So what is the correct answer here? Let's have a look. The correct answer is D. Biology actually is in the science branch of life science, not under earth science. Let's see the last question for the day. Question 3. Which of the following is not the contribution of science to information technology? A. Fast communication, B. Satellite usage, C. Internet and lastly D. Pesticides. Which is the correct answer here? It is about information technology, short form IT. Does IT actually help you to have fast communication? What is the correct answer? It is D. Pesticides. Now pesticides actually fall under agriculture. Now pesticides actually fall under agriculture. I do hope you could answer everything correctly. Let's move over to the summary of the day and see what we have learned so far in today's lesson. Science is a systemic study of nature and how it affects us and our environment. Science knowledge is the knowledge accumulated by systemic study of natural phenomena. Do you still remember the natural phenomena? Science branches. Life science is the study of living systems and the way they interact. Earth science is study of Earth system and the system of space. Physical science is study of matter and energy. So remember the three main branches in science. Science is important because it helps us to understand ourselves and our surrounding environment. It also solves science mysteries. New discoveries, invention and knowledge. improves standard of living and quality of environment. And lastly, science is important because it creates job opportunities. So this was the summary of today's lesson. We have come to the end of the lesson today, students. I do hope that you have learned what is science. I will see you soon in our next lesson. Till then, take care and thank you for watching iTTV.